Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nick.
My name is Marques and Nick.
And we welcome you to the Wrevolution. Tonight, we are on episode 1, 2, 3 of the Wednesday Night Wars.
4 if you count the unreleased episode.
Shh. We don't talk about the Vault episode. So, hopefully you guys enjoy this video more than you did the one that we just did on Monday Night Raw, because it looks like we have a whole one view as of shooting this, and I'm pretty sure that's me. So, show us some love, guys. Like, what's going on?
I know the mic quality wasn't the best, but it wasn't that bad, was it?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we did kind of warn everyone that usually watches it. Yeah. So, we are on now to the Wednesday Night Wars, our best video of the week, but based on the fact that both episodes, both the episode NXT and Dynamite were very good, it might actually wind up being a short video. Because usually we're just critiquing a bunch of stuff, and there's not a whole lot to critique.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't a lot to critique, but there also wasn't much, at least for one show,
which we will get to.
And the answer may surprise you.
So we're gonna kick things off with that one show, NXT.
Yes.
Yikers. We kick things off with the semifinals of the Dusty Classic. The Undisputed Era versus the Grizzled Young Veterans.
I gotta give the Grizzled Young Vets their props. I mean, This was a good match, as was their last match. They're very skilled in the ring.
Well, we've always known they've been skilled in the ring. They've always been boring.
Yes. This was one of their better matches, I'd say.
I must say, and we get to this at the end, or towards the end of the night, their mic skills are fantastic.
Yes.
So, hopefully some upsides there. And it was just another fantastic showing of what tag team specialists are like in the ring.
So, it's like the complete opposite of SmackDown and Raw. Both AEW and NXT both have amazing tag divisions, and it's always great. Every week, I look so much forward to this episode of just looking at just tag team wrestling, actual tag team wrestling. It's amazing.
And in the midst of this beautiful tag team wrestling, Imperium.
Yeah, so before this match even started, we saw Adam Cole walk over to the announce desk, and he said that he knows that Imperium's there and they aren't afraid. And almost immediately, you knew the ending of the match. You knew what was going to happen.
I mean, it was a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
And by God, even standing on this random perch that's in Full Sail, Walter looks scary as hell.
He's a big boy.
I'm terrified of that, man.
Yeah, I just want to say I love the Imperium gimmick. It's amazing.
The whole thing is beautiful,
yeah.
And
the crowd singing along to the theme song.
And it brings some kind of importance to Alexander Wolf's career again.
Thank you. He goes from one stable to another, but at least this one hopefully will last longer than Sanity.
I mean, think about it. Alexander Wolf's doing something. Killian Dane's doing something. Nikki Cross is doing something.
Yeah, then there's Eric Young.
Where'd Eric Young go?
Yikes. He's doing the same thing Matt Hardy's doing.
Yeah, and you were the one we were really hoping for. Oh, God. Okay. We're bringing up the Matt Hardy thing.
Yeah.
Any of you who are YouTube fans, go watch #FreeTheDelete.
Free the Delete.
From the Matt Hardy brand on YouTube. This man is an absolute genius, and I cannot wait for him to be unleashed on anything other than WWE.
All I gotta say is 13 weeks.
13 weeks.
All right, so yes,
or thereabouts.
So the foreshadow actually does come true. Imperium arrives, and they distract the Undisputed Era long enough for the Grizzled Young Vets to pick up the victory.
Now, this is the one that I've never understood in Full Sail. Somebody shows up on that little perch thing up there. Why is that a distraction? Like, they're not going to come down to the ring. They're not going to attack you. They're standing on a walkway. Like, what are you looking at?
It's the same reason why when someone pops up on the Titantron, like, you're just like, why? Like, focus on your match, dude.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. So, I mean, again, the match wasn't bad. GSV showed up, or GYV, excuse me. What am I thinking, man? The Grizzled Young Veterans.
There you go.
They showed up, showed out, and the Undisputed Era did what they do best, which is just absolutely play the numbers game.
Yes. So after this, we get a promo package by Miss Shotzi Blackheart, otherwise known as Green Haired Girl, from the Women's Battle Royale last week. Of course, you remember her as the female who eliminated Shayna Baszler in her return. She says that she is going to take care of business. That the whole world's talking about her because of what happened last week, and that she's going to beat Shayna tonight.
In your dreams. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Shotzi Blackheart has no chance.
And boy, did she demonstrate that in this match. That's later on, but wow. So we get Toni Storm.
It's Toni time!
Versus the person I'm excited for, Io Shirai.
See, this is the thing. I love both of them in the ring. The difference is Toni Storm is my wifey. You go ahead and take a big gulp after that statement.
I was just symbolizing how thirsty you are.
Oof. Yikes. No. Oh, man. That was a shot.
So, Toni Storm versus Io Shirai. This match was, despite how much I do like both women, this was alright.
I mean, it was a good rematch.
Yeah.
First one was better. Always kind of is. But the match played out to its purpose.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair interferes.
Then
dancing around, whipping her hair, her rope around.
her weave.
Whatever the hell it is.
And then Rhea comes out.
Rhea Ripley comes out and she just rips a new one into Bianca Belair.
Yeah, to steal a quote from you, she came out in fight mode.
She did come out in fight mode, which we will get to.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Screw it. Spoilers aside, fight mode fighter of the night for NXT is Rhea Ripley.
Yes. She's amazing. So we see just kind of in this little fight sequence, Rhea comes out, they fight. There's a drop kick from Io Shirai to Rhea, then a springboard moonsault to Bianca Belair. And then we get a tope suicida from Toni Storm.
Toni time, baby.
Toni picks up the belt.
Oh, right back where it belongs. Where it belongs.
And the crowd rips her a new one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the booing's about.
The booing caught me off guard.
Yeah, I mean, I get that we like Rhea Ripley and we like Io Shirai. And they like Bianca Belair.
Yeah. But
what?
Yeah, the boos.
You're booing Toni Storm.
The boos surprised me. I was caught off guard by that. But hey, I guess we'll see where they go from there. Even Toni was kind of looking like, "Love me, please."
Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
That's like when you're scolding your dog. That was the look that Toni Storm had on her face. Like, why are you mad?
So we then get a backstage interview with Kathy Kelly. She's backstage with the UE, and Adam Cole says that they gotta focus up on Keith Lee because they were furious, obviously upset about what just happened, and they want revenge on Imperium. But Adam Cole just refocuses the mindset, says, "Roderick Strong, you gotta win your match tonight. You gotta retain the North American Championship."
And then we get a promo package after this from Ilya Dragunov, who I'm excited to see in NXT. I've seen him in action a couple of different times. I believe I've seen him in action in NXT UK. He's a fantastic athlete. He was undefeated for a while in the WWE circuits. And he really is just... He's stiff in the ring. He brings a strong style. And he's good on the mic.
Now, I can't lie to you guys. This is one of those times where I have to lean heavily on the expertise of Mr. Cavalli here, because when it comes to certain people in AEW and NXT, especially when we're talking about NXT UK, your boy knows nothing. So
Yeah, Dragunov has consistently developed his talents.
And didn't mean to cut you off, but to be fair, when you have the likes of 205 Live and the way NXT UK kind of debuted off the rip, can you really blame me for just not paying attention?
Yeah, kind of. I kind of can, because it's gotten really, really good.
Yeah, well...
Not good enough to cut a video on yet, because,
No.
we don't have enough time in the week or
No.
enough followers. Subscribe, please. But yeah, Ilya Dragunov he's definitely a developing talent, and he calls out Finn Balor,
Yeah,
which
Prince
has
Balor.
me so excited. The two of those will put on an absolute clinic in the ring,
Well, I'll take your word for it there.
which is something I'm super excited to see. Which is why when I found out that Finn Balor is taking on, what was his name?
Joaquin Wilde. Where did they come up with that? If that, I mean, that's of course if that's not your real name.
All right, I'm gonna shoot straight here. I thought the dude who booked the gobbledygooker was dead, but he came back to life and booked this. Actually, that's not fair. Vince was behind the gobbledygooker, so Triple H, did you let Vince book this one? Because
Yeah, this freaking dude looked like a superhero coming.
this
out the
gimmick
ring.
is just
Yikes. And about what happens in this match, about what you expect happens. Finn Balor just dominated for the majority. During the match, he says that at the very end, he says, "You come at Finn, you best not miss," and then hits a 1916 for the victory. Brutal 1916.
yeah. Finn is not a happy camper right now in NXT.
Excuse you, Prince Balor.
And I am happy to see that he's using the Prince Devitt gimmick from New Japan. That is really cool.
Plays into what we were talking about the other day.
Yes, with the Fiend.
Yes.
After that defeat, he kind of not only went back to NXT, but he reverted to the oldest, most popular gimmick of him, which was the Prince Devitt gimmick in New Japan. With the Bullet Club.
Does kind of interest me though, the fact that if he's calling himself Prince Balor, doesn't Finn Balor, like in rough Gaelic, translate to just Demon King? So is he calling himself the Demon Prince, or is he just Prince King or King Prince?
I hadn't thought about that, to be honest with you.
I know that they're just using it as his name, but they kind of pushed that hard. Like, that's what it means. So is he Prince King or King Prince, or how does that work? Or is he Demon Prince? And then if you just went from a king to a prince, isn't that a downgrade? So many questions, guys.
So what I'm thinking is the entire purpose of the gimmick is to have him in the mixed match challenge this year with Bianca Belair, and he'd be the Fresh Prince of Belair.
Oh, goodness. That's some Mauro Ranallo type stuff right there. And speaking of Mauro,
Oh boy,
this man, I love you, Mauro. And your pop culture references are always on point, but you gotta tone it back a little bit, dude.
and these two have the chemistry of Will Smith and Martin Lawrence because they're bad boys for life.
Yikers.
Oof.
And it didn't get better throughout the night.
No,
either.
it really didn't. To be honest with you,
This is one of those nights where I love Mauro, but he was kind of getting on my nerves a little bit.
yeah.
At least in like a comical way. Like it was like a.
I'm never annoyed with Morrow to the point where I want to turn the TV off, like I am with Michael Cole.
Yeah.
But I seriously sometimes look at it and just go, "Oh no."
I mean, to be fair, I'll always take a pop culture reference from Morrow over a Superman punch from Michael Cole. So.
Well, we do, in fact, get a Superman punch.
The best Superman punch call I think I've ever heard.
Matt Riddle's just stealing everybody's moves as a meme, which, again, we'll get to. Yes. Our next match was Shayna Baszler versus Shotzi Blackheart. Yay!
But we get a quick Shayna interview with Kathy
yes,
Kelly.
I apologize for forgetting that.
She says that Blackheart thinks that she made a statement. No, she just ended her career before it started. And that then she takes a shot at Rhea Ripley, says that Rhea calls herself the Nightmare. But the thing with nightmares is that they always give way to reality. And the reality is that she's not going anywhere. And that she will become Shayna 3 times.
Nah.
The end of that promo was a little mad. But
I mean, not in the way that the promo was bad. I just don't see it happening. For a while, at least.
If anyone's gonna do it, it would be her.
I think it's gonna be one of. Well, truthfully, I think it's me, Io Shirai.
Well, my only reasoning is that I don't see Triple H letting go of Shayna for a long time, and if she's gonna be around NXT,
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I mean, she's great in that like heel champion role. Not that I want to keep forcing her down people's throats.
Well, I love Shayna Baszler as much as anybody else does. Well, more than most people do, probably. But I think in the spirit of NXT, you gotta give it to somebody who Bianca Belair if you have to, Io Shirai, Toni Storm, those guys are all fantastic up and comers.
Yes.
And I mean Rhea Ripley is right in that same.
Oh yeah, she's an amazing champion.
And she's still young. She's still up and coming. So
absolutely,
it's important that she gets her chops in too. Or her licks in too. Excuse me. So I'd say it's important that she holds on to this title for a little while.
I do feel like if it were, and I never want to advocate stealing anything from the Charlotte Shasta Banks rivalry.
Oh no,
but
no.
If there were 2 women where you were gonna play hot potato with a belt, I feel like it would be a Rhea and a Shayna. I'm not saying you do it. I'm saying
in fact, I'm strongly advising you that you do not.
No, I'm just saying if you were going to do it, that's 2 women where you could say, okay, they're both just so evenly matched. One just gets the better of the other on a particular night.
Well,
that was kind of the Samoa Joe Finn Balor thing.
The next NXT Women's Champion is obvious. It's Asuka.
I would love that.
Please.
All
seriousness, though, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the belt. At Worlds Collide, we have Toni Storm taking on Rhea Ripley for the title, and then Bianca Belair is the number 1 contender at TakeOver Portland, which will be taking place sometime before TakeOver Tampa in April. They probably counter-programmed AEW, didn't they? I'm going to have to look that up because I feel like that's definitely what they did, which means we're going to have a super fun weekend that weekend.
Yay! So before we get into the match, we get another promo package. This time it's DIY. This was kind of the theme of the night. This was one of those episodes of NXT where you can tell they're just building for the next show. A lot of promo packages, a lot of backstage interviews, which isn't normally typical for NXT. So definitely not. I don't want to say like this was a can miss episode, but definitely not a super lot happened. Again, the reason this isn't can miss is because of what happened in the beginning of the show and what happens at the end.
So I'd like to first say we dodged a bullet. NXT TakeOver Portland is 2 weeks before AEW Revolution. Thank God. Because that would have been fun.
Yeah.
But yes, continue. I'm sorry.
No, so it is official. Based off this promo package, DIY is back together officially, and but then we get into the Shayna Baszler versus, I hate this name, Shotzi Black. Where did you find?
Do we have to get into this match at all? Can we just say what the ending is? Because that's all that matters.
I want to emphasize just how bad Blackheart is, because my goodness.
Yeah.
And what made it worse is that you have Morrow call at the very beginning of the match, everyone that she's been in the ring and with has been impressed with this young lady. She's impressing everyone since her arrival in NXT, and I'm just sitting here like, am I missing something?
Yeah, she didn't impress me one bit.
No, it was botch
Not
after
at all.
botch. It was...
I mean, nerves happen. I understand, but
especially in the ring there with Shayna. But this wasn't your best showing.
No.
So hope again, like, this nerves are a thing. Maybe as you get more time in the ring against the bigger name opponents, maybe we see you improve. Maybe we see something that you didn't show tonight. Because if everyone is truly impressed with you, then there's got to be something there, right? And I saw the athleticism. Yeah. I mean, she's an incredible athlete.
Yeah. And, raw talent like that is something that you want on NXT, something that can be trained and developed, but maybe a little bit more time in the Performance Center is going to be what we need here. So it ends with a senton reversed by Baszler into a Carafuna clutch that took way too long.
I was worried
way too long.
The fact that I was legit worried about Blackheart getting out of this, which normally I guess would be a good thing, but I was like worried in a bad way. Like, please stay down and tap.
That took way too long.
Yeah. So Shayna wins, and then she doesn't let go after the match.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. That was just, if you're that bad of an opponent, I'm gonna choke you to death.
Reminded me never to get in the ring with you. So.
Everybody tune in for Wrevolution Pro Wrestling.
Yikers.
Actually, that's already a thing, Rev Pro. So
yeah. Scratch that. Don't come after us, copyright, please. So next we get, surprise, another promo package. This time it's...
I'll take the head on this. It's one of my other wifeys, the love of my life, Tegan Knox. And it's a Tegan Knox promo package talking about how, she is going to come after Dakota Kai now. She is going to bring it to Dakota Kai. And Dakota Kai, of course, is involved in the package as well. And it's, you deserved it. And after what you did to me, and I wasn't involved in the War Games match. And Tegan Knox ends the promo package by basically saying, I'm going to do to you what you've done to me. Which was extremely fiery. And then we find out it's next week.
Well, you missed the most, fire part of this promo.
Oh, boy, what did I do?
Which was, it was Dakota Kai saying that it's just about time.
It's only a matter of time. The clock is ticking. You're due for another injury.
Yikes.
First of all, she didn't have the injury bug till she went to WWE, so that's telling you anything.
That line, I was just like... Whoa.
Yeah, that was like what you said to me at the beginning of the show. Piece of crap. So then we get the Broserweights. What did I miss now? What the hell?
We get another promo package. This time it's the Mustache Mountain on the other side
that's
of the
right.
coin.
My God.
Yes.
So many promo packages tonight.
Yeah, seriously. So
You'll note that I took very detailed notes on these promo packages tonight.
Yeah, so this was just advertising for the now confirmed match of Mustache Mountain versus DIY.
I
can't wait.
Saturday is going to be better than Sunday. I mean, we're used to that by now. But Saturday's going to be better than Sunday.
Absolutely.
And especially coming from a guy who is an NXT UK guy, Saturday's going to be significantly better than Sunday. If you have to pick one,
have we had a good Rumble in... God, it's been like a decade now, right?
I mean, I'm excited for the Rumble match. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to see who comes out. That's about it.
I mean, that's where I've always been. I mean, there's some rumors swirling around. A couple of recent free agents that may have been scooped up by WWE. Give them the AJ Styles treatment, possibly. We'll see.
As long as you don't give them the Matt Hardy treatment.
Oh, man.
Never letting that go. Never letting that go.
Free the delete.
Free the delete. So, we also have an Angel Garza interview.
Yep, that's right. Another promo.
Yeah, not really much to talk about. Just the fact that Angel is just... He says that... I guess the most important thing is that he says that this is his house, not Swerve's.
Whose house?
Angel's house?
I guess so.
I guess. Now!
The Broserweights and Imperium. Look, this is how much I cared about half of the promos. I mean, it's built to a pay-per-view. I understand you're going to have promos, but some of them, it's like, dude, come on.
Again, this is, and it's always kind of been the formula with NXT. Like, you have like multiple shows in a row. You have the big storylines, the rivalries, but then things kind of settle down. You have to showcase some of the younger talent. You have to, have promos for the following weeks. So that's just kind of always how the formula's been. And I get it. It kind of gives the higher grain talent time to rest, instead of just having them out there week after week after week. So I'm okay with it.
Now hear me out. WWE should have a developmental division. Oh, wait. See, this is the thing. I like where NXT is currently. I like the way that Triple H has worked with NXT. But what I see NXT as now is more of a land of the indie darlings.
Well, that's the way it's been for the last couple of years, though.
But the difference is you always get this random person who comes through who is developmental talent. And that was all fine and dandy when it was on the network. It's on USA now. NXT has got to be held to a higher standard than it ever was.
The thing is, though, NXT is still held in Full Sail every week, and it's still after. Obviously, they don't show it on TV, but you still have before and after the dark matches of the indie talent. You constantly have the developmental talent, being showcased before and after the show and different times of the week. So they still get their chance to showcase. They treat it like it's a regular episode of NXT. They come out, theme song and everything. That's why when you have guys like Swerve come out of nowhere and you're like, the crowd already knows who he is. And you're like, who's this guy? And you immediately fall in love. So the formula works. Sometimes it's hit or miss, but I think it has a pretty good track record.
I don't know. I just feel like if we truly want to treat this as a third brand equal to SmackDown and Raw, which it should be, then it needs to be developmental talent needs to be relegated to dark matches, or I don't know, bring back one of the really, really awful shows, Superstars, but main event.
What has that ever done for anybody, though? At least it's getting their name out there on a brand that people care about.
It's getting their name out there, but I don't care about them.
Well, again...
Do you see how much I invested in Joaquin Wilde?
Well, yes, but I can tell you right now, I mean, I'll use a perfect example, Angelo Dawkins. He was one of those developmental guys where he would come out week in, week out, and you had no idea who he was. He was very bad in the ring, decent on the mic, and then to see where he is now, like, it actually helps build his character and build my care for who he is as a wrestler, because I see where he was way back when and now where he is now. It's like, that's awesome. And that's just one example.
But I shouldn't have to see where they were way back when on my primetime network television show. I should see where they're at on the network.
I don't know, man. That's just, I guess it's just a disagreement, because I love it. I think it's cool to be able to showcase newer talent and say, hey, this guy's going to get an opportunity, and further down the line, maybe they're to become something big.
For example, AEW Dark. YouTube. Great way to get developing talent out there without cramming it down your throat in prime time.
Don't see every once in a while the random just bad wrestler on AEW that gets squashed every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, it happens time to time.
And that's what happens with NXT. It's not like this is every week. This is like once every like...
No, but you had 2 of them in one night. That's stupid. You are doing yourself a disservice by putting 2 brand new wrestlers out there, both of which did not show up that well, one of which was awful.
Again, it's a double side of the coin. I mean, you're giving your premier talent time to rest while also building up next week's show, generating interest for that, but also giving these guys time to develop. So it's...
So what you're saying is this was a throwaway show?
Well, that's kind of what I was alluding to, was that minus like the beginning and the ending of the show, this was almost a can-miss show. It's minus those couple things, and I did say that, right?
Well, yeah. So, this is a throwaway show.
So you agree with me, is what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is, because you're saying
that's what he got.
You're saying that even the beginning and the end, it's a throwaway show. This is like, you know what, honest to God, this is like when a title changes hands on a house show. I don't care.
Oh, like you didn't care for that.
Oh, no, I loved that it happened. The same way that I loved when I scrolled through my phone and found out that AJ Styles won the U.S. title at a Madison Square Garden house show.
At the end of the day, I mean, like I said, you have the beginning and the ending of the show. I mean, I wouldn't miss it just for those things. I mean, it's all, if you have it on DVR, watch the beginning, scroll through, skip to the end, like watch the highlights, or on the WWE YouTube channel if you have to. Like this, I'm saying that it just for those few things. That's why this isn't a can miss show. If you really just want to skip it that badly, like if you're of the mindset of a Nick, then yeah, go ahead and just watch the highlights on YouTube. But personally, I would stick around, watch the show, and at least, give these guys a shot. I mean, yeah, they're not, the best, but see who you're watching. I mean, you could potentially be watching the next women's or NXT men's championship, or champion, excuse me. So, you never know.
Yeah, that's fair. Or you just, do what normal humans do and you just watch the Keith Lee match.
Well,
I didn't even need the tag match, to be honest with you.
Well, we're definitely going to disagree with that one.
That's fine. You can have your tag match. Anyways, the Broserweights and Imperium. Apparently, Matt Riddle does his Superman punch now.
He does everything. He's Goldberg.
Boy,
he's Roman. He's The Undertaker. Like, he's everybody.
Yeah, this was, it was a good match.
Dude, I just have one question, Matt Riddle. What the hell
was
on
that
your
hair?
What was that, man? I'm not judging nobody, and like freedom of expression, do what you want with your hairstyle. But I mean, I wasn't a fan.
Again?
Actually, my it is off. That's just something my phone randomly does when the battery starts to drop.
Aw, maybe you should get yourself an Android. It's okay, little one. Anyways, the Broserweights do wind up winning with a double team maneuver at the end of the match. And then we have a standoff on the stage between the Broserweights and the Grizzled Young Vets.
This was an alright promo. It was alright.
I mean, the Grizzled Young Vets talking about a lot of stuff that's happened in NXT UK.
They called Dunn selfish, and they...
Shellfish?
Selfish. Excuse me. And, yeah, they call him a selfish.
Jesus Christ.
No, they, and then we get marijuana jokes via Matt Riddle.
I don't know, I heard something about you guys manipulating joints and...
Tuned out pretty much after that.
Yeah.
Dunn then references that, saying, "While you had your
head in the clouds."
In the clouds. Yeah, that was great.
It was a good promo on both of them, and the best part was the end.
Yeah. Well, Dunn, I like the fact that he basically says, "Well, since the Grizzly Young Vets were talking about how Dunn has kept opportunities from them, he's basically saying, oh, so what you're saying is that I've always beat you. You've never won a match against me." And that wraps up that.
Then he bros him.
Yeah.
Which was the best thing.
And then Matt Riddle does the Pete Dunne shrug. So that was cool. Follows it up
beautiful.
with
This whole... the bromance that is the Broserweights is great.
So then, the last match.
Oh, bask in his glory.
This,
Keith Lee, you beautiful, beautiful man.
This is one of those guys, buy stock now. Like, invest in Keith Lee. This is, like, years down the line, this man is going to be main event. He's box office.
We talked about it when we were watching the match. Keith Lee needs to enter the Rumble second.
Yes.
It needs to be Brock Lesnar and then Keith Lee.
The pop. It would just...
Well, and especially because you get his whole entrance that way.
Exactly. And the entrance. Oh my gosh. That's the best part. The theme song is rocking, the crowd chanting along to the beat, kind of like the Joe, but instead it's Keith, like that. The whole thing, man, it's great. I love it. And he's one of those guys who sings his own theme song. Mm-hmm. Like, it's that even better.
And to have both men, Keith Lee and Roderick Strong, standing in the ring, Roderick Strong staring him down, and Keith Lee, oh, bask in his glory.
Yeah, conducting the crowd. He
he's
radiates
so
energy.
I have no idea how he does it. I love Keith Lee. And this is why I would not call this a trash night of NXT. You know? I mean, it was...
Again,
there was a match.
It wasn't miss. It was almost there though. It was getting there for me. So this match though was amazing. I mean, Keith Lee and Roddy Strong do Keith Lee and Roddy Strong things, and
Keith Lee is unnecessarily athletic for his size, and I know we talk about that all the time, but oh my God, this man can move.
Roderick Strong, again, I mean, you want to talk about pound for pound strength. I mean, he's very strong for, kind of being a more lightweight fella.
Yeah, but the thing that really got me was the double overhand chop from Keith Lee and the sweat just flinging off of Roddy Strong.
That was amazing.
That was a great shot from the cameraman, first of all, so thank you for actually getting that.
Yeah.
And this match was just fantastic.
The pop when Keith Lee won.
Which he wins, by the way.
Yes, it was... It was so great. You get genuine, raw crowd reaction.
Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. And what was just as beautiful was that Imperium then snuck up behind the Undisputed Era, got on the apron, got in the ring, and stood toe-to-toe with the UE.
And NXT closes with the Undisputed Era and Imperium having a brawl center of the ring.
And the loudest effing chop I have heard in my life. Oh my God,
that
Walter
chop. My goodness.
Like I've seen images of him chopping people, and literally his handprint is visible while like the skin just radiates out of his hand.
It's like a bolt of lightning. It's that loud.
He is a terrifying human being, and Walter, I cannot wait to watch you absolutely squash the bug that is Adam Cole.
It's going to be a great match. I can't wait.
Yes, so Worlds Collide is going to be fantastic on Saturday, and that is how we end our NXT. So we're going to go ahead on to match of the night for NXT.
It's got to be Keith Lee versus Roderick Strong.
Keith Lee, Roddy, MVP.
MVP, why change it up? Keith Lee.
Keith Lee.
No debates there?
No. Why would there be any debate?
And
literally, Keith Lee saved this show for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I liked Pete Dunne. I liked Matt Riddle, even though I kind of despise Matt Riddle internally.
And of course, Finn Balor is always a plus, right?
Right. It's kind of nice to see him.
But
Walter,
I mean, if you take Undisputed Era out of the show, they were like 50-60% of the show.
Yeah, that's like Seth Rollins on Monday night.
With interviews and backstage stuff.
It was Seth Rollins on Monday night is exactly what UE was today.
So, I mean, thank God for the UE and thank God for Keith Lee because there wasn't much there.
Thank God for the hottest crowd in pro wrestling.
You think Full Sail, is full of some sweaty neckbeards? My goodness.
Oh my God, the Rock and Wrestling Rager Part 2.
And you said it during the night. You know the difference between Full Sail and this crowd?
They haven't been drinking for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
This crowd was intensely hot.
One of the best crowds that I've seen in years. It was amazing.
I've never seen anything quite on the level of the crowd there.
I mean, I say AEW always has good crowds. This was almost like we haven't seen a crowd this hot since the first initial
One Night Stand.
Well, I was gonna say those first couple AEW episodes, obviously All Out, All In,
Double or Nothing.
Those were all like.
But this hot and this raucous.
This is definitely the best crowd I've seen from AEW in a little while. So thank you.
Yeah, I would say that this is probably the best crowd I've seen since ECW One Night Stand. That's how hot, how raucous, how raunchy,
how drunk
the crowd was. It was fantastic. So we are on the boat of Jericho in the port of Nassau, Bahamas, and we are not live, taped from Monday night for AEW Dynamite.
Ignore the little live thing they have in the corner for the show. It was not live. It was very much taped and on a Monday night. So.
And it was very much windy. So we kicked things off with the AEW World Tag Team Championship match between the number one contenders Omega and Hangman Page against the champions SCU.
You knew this caught me off guard.
It hurts. So okay, let's first start with this. SCU is always over. Again, hot crowd.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And
Scorpio Sky is just what a guy. He's amazing. He is definitely. We said this. He is the best part of SCU, bar none.
The thing that worries me is one of these days Scorpio Sky is going to outgrow SCU.
Oh, absolutely. He's already kind of doing it now.
The thing that worries me is that they're going to take him away from SCU, and that's just going to fizzle out. And then we're going to lose Kazarian and Daniels, who are a very integral part of the show.
I don't think we'll lose Daniels, or excuse me, Kazarian, because Kazarian, I mean, he's somewhat older, but he's still in very good shape.
Oh, that's fair.
And he's an amazing solo competitor. So, but I do think, Daniels is getting up there in age. He's not in the best shape. I mean, if Jericho can do it, he can do it. But I mean, I do think we're kind of seeing it now. He's kind of relegated to that mic role a lot of times, that manager role.
We could see them go the way of the New Day, though.
Well, I wouldn't. Even if you remove Scorpio Sky from the equation, I don't see Kazarian and Daniels ever going away, just because of that, because they've always been a tag team. Yeah. So you lose one, they've always been together. So
that's true.
I think they would still have a role on the show, whether it be as a tag team or whether you see Kazarian go solo with that manager role of Daniels. I still think they'd have something to do. But
I mean, Christopher Daniels, killer on the mic. So
yes, but I would like to see eventually a Scorpio Sky solo run somewhere down the line.
And even if they do it the way WWE did with Kofi, I'd be fine with that. If he's the Kofi of SCU, that's fine.
Or if they pull a Shield and anoint Scorpio Sky as the one, then
the architect.
Yeah. So.
So shocking as it may be to all of us, Hangman and Kenny Omega come away with the victory.
Only surprising because of what's happened recently. Because if you talked to me a couple months ago, I'd have been like, "Oh, Hangman and Kenny, yeah." But this caught me off guard.
The reason it surprised me is because it felt like they've been building to a Hangman versus Kenny match.
Absolutely.
Which they still could be. Slow build, The whole tag team breaks up. They lose the titles because they're fighting, something like that.
Yeah. We've seen this storyline in WWE before, so it's not uncommon.
It was a swerve. It was a little bit of a swerve.
Well, it was not only just the result, but it was how it happened, too.
Yeah, so Kenny Omega took a buckshot lariat from Hangman. They do work it out. They do work together for the rest of the match. And then Hangman hits a buckshot lariat for the 1, 2, 3.
I do believe JR explained that was the second one he had hit on Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, it could have been.
So maybe that is kind of like how they justify it. But it just, when he hit it, and I was like, okay. And then he goes to the cover, and then he counted 3. I was like, huh?
Yeah, I was a little bit shocked. I figured if that match was going to end, it was going to get put away with a one-winged angel. Although I'm sure...
Or Deadeye.
And this is the thing. We do see the promo later on with the Young Bucks, and we'll get to it. But I feel like maybe this was something that was meant to play into that promo.
Yeah.
Well, I beat them.
Exactly.
So...
Well, you see at the end of this match... champions do what champions do, they celebrate, but then you see Hangman kind of break off on his own.
Well, yeah, the Young Bucks come down to the ring, and, they're stealing my moment, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes over.
Shotguns a beer
Yep.
right out of the crowd.
And then crowd surfs with a beer in his hand.
While shotgunning a beer still. He gets carried all the way to the stage, and yeah.
Yeah, so that was, it was interesting. I didn't expect SCU to lose the titles. Not on the Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea. So we go on now to Britt Baker, DMD, and Hell's favorite harlot, Priscilla Kelly. Welcome to Dynamite. Thank you, God, for a second female I can stand to watch.
Seriously, though. First women's match in a while that I've actually paid attention to. I stayed awake during this one.
Yeah, so, I've always been a huge fan of Priscilla Kelly's work. I love Priscilla Kelly in the ring, and I can't wait to see what they do with her. But what's interesting is what they're doing with Britt Baker. So, as the match starts, you had run upstairs for a moment. JR mentions Riho's absence. That, it'd be nice for Britt Baker to pull out a win here, move up the chain, because our champion's not here. She's not around.
I'm starting to get the Brock Lesnar feel with her.
And then Excalibur said, she had obligations in Japan. She's with a company in Japan, and she's their women's champion, and she had obligations there, so she hasn't been around for a little while because she's been defending the title there, but she'll be back. And Shivani and JR just weren't buying it. They're like, this is AEW. Who cares what freaking tiny little company you're working for in Japan? This is the second largest wrestling company in the world right now.
It definitely concerns me. I don't know if this is storyline or if this is, sometimes creative likes to write purposefully things for the commentators to say and for wrestlers to say into their promos, and it kind of feels like this was one of those direct shots, like AEW is taking offense to what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And they're almost like taking it out on Riho, and I take shots at Riho every week. She's, again, I'm minus the size and the dominance. I get the Brock Lesnar feel with her because she is just never around.
Well, this is the thing. I like Riho in the ring.
As a person,
she's very good in the ring.
She is good in the ring. But I think if your allegiance, if your loyalty is to another company, and I get it, you're Japan native. If that is kind of your allegiance to a Japanese wrestling company, if that's more your style, then by all means go and chase that. But then drop the title.
Well, and you in doing business in good faith, you should have mentioned something to Cody when he had brought up the idea of putting the title on you, that, I'm going to be away for 3 months, because I have obligations with such and such a company in Japan, and she came back for 2 weeks.
And my God, when you're the inaugural women's champion, and when they've got you as, when AEW first starts, you're like, they have that, like,
the crossbody shot.
Like, you're the first thing people see when the show loads up. So it's like, I don't know, I guess I just see it as a slight. So,
yeah. So one of the other things we take away from this match, Britt Baker is a full-on heel now.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were going, like, slow turn. She full heel.
Turned randomly kind of out of nowhere.
She wins the match after blocking a rope break and using the ropes to her advantage, which, again, they went with the whole referee's discretion thing. I suppose that would be a case where it's ref's discretion.
Kind of a weird way.
It's not a rope break if you're breaking your own hold, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, she hits the lockjaw, and that is it. Yeah. That is, as soon as she hits that, it's good night. So, after this, she cuts a very impassioned heel promo.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone.
On Tony Schiavone.
Tony Schiavone gets in the ring and starts to interview her. And
asks her kind of about her dastardly ways.
And she just, that's like the snap right there. So.
Well, we're all so happy to have you here because, it's so much better than what you were doing before, working at Starbucks.
Yikes.
Being the shitty little barista that you were.
And she just keeps going. She starts ripping into the crowd. And
and then they cut away.
Did you know that I'm a dentist?
They cut away mid-promo.
Mid-promo.
Which, this being taped on a Monday makes me guess that either A, they went overtime, B, she said something she probably should not have said on TNT, or C, the crowd just got so hot that they said so much that they would have just had to bleep all the audio, which they had to do a couple of times.
That's another thing that was bugging the hell out of me all show, is that they were trying to bleep the crowd because, obviously this is pre-recorded, so they go, okay, crowd says some things you don't like, let's bleep it out. But then you just have multiple times throughout the night when a crowd starts a chant. And the chant goes on for a minute too. Like, you just have audio cutting in and out. I thought there was something wrong with my TV.
Yeah, he's like, man, they really need to work on this audio. I was like, nope, they're just dropping F-bombs.
They're bleeping stuff out, which I'm like, come on. I know, you're TV 14. When you got not Dean Ambrose.
I'm going to punch you, dude. I'm going to punch you.
He was known as Dean Ambrose to me for how many years, so sorry, it's just natural. When you have John Moxley dropping F-bombs every other week, you can afford a couple. Come on now.
So, it was interesting, to say the least. We get our...
it gives you another reason to care about the women's division. There you go.
That's true.
So, one of my favorite tag teams.
Yes, Jurassic Express and the Inner Circle go head to head, and
featuring one of wrestling's biggest hot tags,
Marco Stunt, Luchasaurus, Ivar, two best hot tags in wrestling. Angelo Dawkins.
Oh
yeah. These guys, man, Jungle Boy is crazy over. Insane in the ring.
Marco Stunt is crazy over.
Everybody in the Jurassic Express is crazy over.
So, before the match even starts, you have the Jurassic Express. They come out. They do their entrance. So, you're on the Jericho rocket.
The Ship of Jericho.
Yes, and so he's got, this nice little... pyro.
Oh yeah, he's got a pretty good pyro set.
Smoke and Goldberg's sparks coming out, but the problem is, I guess the temperature is too hot or it's too close.
Oh, the wind.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but Jungle Boy walks out and you kind of see he gets burned by the sparks, and at first we're like, brush it off, but then he was
he was holding it up to the point the match started.
Yeah, so you could tell it definitely bugged him a little bit.
As soon as he got burned, I think this was my favorite part. I don't mean to laugh at Jungle Boy getting burned, but he gets burned, and he immediately turns around to Luchasaurus like, Dad! Dad!
Well, what I loved was the fact that you had Marco Stunt when they were coming down the ramp. He was afraid to get... And then I thought it was funny. I was like, how does Goldberg just deal with that every time? He just stands in that thing.
I know. Dude. Well, and then Jericho, as he's coming down the ramp, the sparks start flying towards him. He just shuts his eyes.
Yeah.
He just walks through it. That's a true vet right there. Take notes, Jungle Boy.
Oh my my God, the pop for Jericho.
It's the Jericho Cruise.
Like, you'd have thought God himself was walking down that ramp.
I mean,
I ain't gonna go there. So
that man, look, I love Jericho. I've loved Jericho from the day he returned to WWE. I mean, I liked him before then, but I didn't watch a whole lot back then because I was young. My parents were overbearing at times. I love you guys. Thank you for watching, both of you. Those are two of my views. Which means I know you didn't watch Mondays. But Jericho is the fact that he can reinvent himself, the fact that he is who he is in the ring, the fact that he is who he is on the mic, both wrestling and as a vocalist, because, of course, Fozzy was the headlining band.
Yeah, part of the rock and wrestling is that you do get the rock part. So,
and you also get comedy, which was great. We saw Gabriel Iglesias.
Yes.
But yeah, so Jericho was extremely over. And noting that it is a rock and wrestling Rager at Sea, the whole crowd was singing Judas.
Every word.
Every word. The music cut, and they kept singing.
That was great. I loved it. So, some of my favorite parts from this match was you have, at one point, you have the Santana and Ortiz. I love them, by the way. But you have, Ortiz? Yeah, the Tiger Style. But then you have, the thing he does every week in a match. The best!
We're the best!
The best! The best! And the crowd starts going with him.
Oh, yeah, man. The crowd was insane.
But then, gosh darn it, you get Luchasaurus, that amazing hot tag, and Ortiz goes for Tiger Style, and Luchasaurus just kind of takes it, and he turns around, just does the pose. Yeah.
Tiger Style.
I love it. But then, what made that so amazing was that later on, Luchasaurus is on a roll, Jake Hager takes a shot at Luchasaurus.
Luchasaurus tags Marco Stunt and just books it. He's like, I'm going to beat yo ass.
He tags out to go F up Jake Hager. That is great.
Dude, I love
And then
Luchasaurus.
they just go to the
They're
back.
gone. They're gone. It was beautiful.
So then you have Marco Stunt versus La Champion.
The 450 splash. The cover. 1, 2. Oh.
The closest pinfall.
Marco Stunt almost pinned
Chris Jericho.
Le Champion.
Oh my god. I thought they were going to do it, especially with how close that first near fall was.
And then he rolled them up afterwards, and I was like, oh my god, they're going to do it.
They're going to do it. And then the inevitable happens. Judas effect. I didn't even know it was a Judas effect when he hit. I thought he just backed up into him and knocked him over.
Nah, man, he threw an elbow into his chin.
I mean, it just kind of looked like he was like, and then, but yeah, Judas effect. Again, not really a fan of that finishing move.
It probably looked a lot more brutal from an angle not behind.
Yeah, but Judas
from behind
effect,
it looks like he just kind of falls into him.
Yeah. So Judas effect 1, 2, 3. Le Champion.
You could have counted to 20, dude.
Yeah.
Marco was out.
Yeah. The Inner Circle pick up the victory. So next we get Salt of the Earth.
Bam.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF versus the Bad Boy.
Bad Boy.
Joey Janela.
Yeah, I can't stand Joey Janela, dude.
Not a fan either.
You know, I liked him when I first saw him and in the pay-per-views. He got to weekly TV.
I was never a fan, so this doesn't surprise me. MJF, when he walks out to the ring, he stops, makes a beeline for the announcer's desk, and he makes Excalibur kiss the ring. So, and he does
burn my hands on your lighting.
Instant karma. So, yeah, he does it, and then he immediately brushes his tongue out. But yeah, this match was.
I probably have a halo now. Speaking of halos, Jesus was at ringside. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah.
And Joey Janela goes over before the match and prays for good luck with Jesus. It was beautiful.
Yeah, you had a fan at ringside dressed as our Lord and Savior, and
it was believable. It was very believable.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but because there was a fan in the crowd that also looked like someone else we know, and I won't say it.
Yes, coworker.
Yes, so during this match, we see Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford come out.
And just make out.
They pull up Bobby and Lana.
The difference...
Bob and Lana.
Bob! The difference is they're actually dating?
Yeah. And they just full on.
Oh, yeah. They were going at it. And Joey Janela's on the top turnbuckle going, huh?
Yeah.
Ew, I don't need to see it. Like, you're my ex. I don't care.
Another one of those goofy distraction angles. Man, and it's not just AEW, it's WWE too. I mean, it's like there's one every week.
Yeah.
We really got to figure out different ways to book these matches. But distraction leads to a win by MJF with the double cross.
The double cross, the crossroads.
Yes. And then MJF cuts a
immediately wants a mic. You know what, Cody? You were right for once. I am a chapter in your book. I am the last goddamn one.
And immediately, like that, Cody's music hits.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
And the pop, the crowd just goes nutty.
Yeah, this again, hottest crowd I've seen probably ever.
Well, and also Cody is just
that over anyways.
He is the, pardon the tired expression, the John Cena of AEW. When he comes out, it's just instant crowd reaction. No matter where they are in the world, it's just you're going to get
you could literally host this in Houghton, Michigan. You could get a pop like that.
So Cody comes out, and almost immediately MJF's like, no, stay where you are.
You know you can't touch me, Cody.
As Cody's inching closer, gets in the ring, and then you have MJF makes fun of Dusty.
Yeah. Well, and he makes fun of Cody as well. Cody does have a little bit of the lisp.
It's gotten better.
Oh, yeah, but he definitely throws a shot there.
Yeah, but... the first thing you think of though, it was that shot at Dusty. He kind of toys with him a little bit. He says, "Yeah, I'm gonna give you the mic. This is your moment. You have some things you want to say." Goes in and then just drops it. And then Cody goes to pick it up, and then he just kicks it over to the side.
Dude, MJF is the best heel in the business.
And the crowd starts chanting,
"Asshole, asshole."
And then Cody just goes, I don't know if you can hear this, but they're calling you an asshole. So,
it was, oh my God, it was great.
So Cody mentions, MJF, you are correct. I can't touch you.
MJF backing out of the ring, backing down the stage. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But these men can.
And the whole time the Young Bucks are coming down the ramp, you up, you up, you up.
It sounded just like that too, because again you had the censorship there. But stereo super kicks from the Young Bucks.
Let's throw them in the pool.
Yeah, so the Young Bucks grab MJF and toss him in the pool of Jericho.
And MJF can't swim.
So did we just watch a man die?
No, because they looked at the pool later and MJF wasn't there. I'm sure a lifeguard came and got him on one of them little floaty things.
Yeah.
But don't worry.
Is it the one that, what's his name had? Marco Stone had?
The life jacket.
Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe that's one thing that we're better than him, and we know it.
Yeah. So, next we get a Tony Schiavone interview with Kenny and Hangman.
Yes. And
this
Kenny
is what
and
we
Hangman,
referenced earlier.
They're very happy. They're celebrating. The Young Bucks come over to congratulate them.
And right when the interview first starts, Shivani asked Hangman
Schiavone!
Schiavone. And Hangman starts his answer. He's like, yeah, I did it. I was beating them, and then Shivani...
Hey, Kenny Omega, what do you think about this whole thing with Pac?
Yeah, just immediately cuts him off, and you see the anger in Hangman's eyes, and then he asks another question, and Hangman starts to answer, then whoop, here come the Young Bucks, celebrating with Kenny Omega, and then the shot.
You know, it's funny, guys. I would have never thought that I'd be holding these before you do.
So, see you guys later.
Yikes. I'm interested to see how this whole thing plays out.
Wouldn't it be just a swerve if it ended up being the Young Bucks turning heel instead of Hangman Page? Because you've kind of seen the seeds planted there, especially with what happened last week.
Well, what I'm trying to figure out is what's going to happen to Kenny Omega. He's going to get stuck right in the middle of this.
Right in the middle. I feel bad for the guy.
I know, because he loves everybody.
He's watching his best friends just go at each other, and he's watching this group that he's created just tear itself apart.
It's all right. He's going to start a new faction with Michael Nakazawa.
I can't wait for that.
And then, match of the night? Nah. Maybe. You'll have to wait to find out. It's the number one contenders match. Rockin' Wrestling Ragers at Sea. This is your main event of the evening. Wow. So, Pac, Jon Moxley for the number one contendership for Le Champion's AEW World Championship.
And speaking of Le Champion, Mr. Jericho would join at ringside on commentary.
And the first thing he says, listen to him, JR, they're singing every word.
And part of what I love this crowd, so you kind of see in the background, you see the ship pull up at port.
There's another ship pulling into port. Jericho explains it later. They're already at port. So, no... Go ahead. I can't do this.
The ship pulls up, and first the crowd starts chanting, our ship's better. Our ship's better. And then
Moxley comes down to the ring. Moxley's at ringside. They're all flipping the other ship off, and it's, your ship.
F
your ship. F your ship. And Moxley turns to the crowd, looks up at the ship, and flips the ship off.
The crowd goes nuts.
This was amazing. And then halfway into the match, yes, your ship sucks.
Your ship sucks. And Jericho even acknowledges it, which is just great. I wonder what those people in the other boat are thinking.
Oh my God. Well, they had to know. Somebody had to tell them. And now we're pulling up next to the boat, the Ship of Jericho. Come aboard, man.
All aboard, man. Yeah, that's great. So we get the line of the night from Mr. Jim Ross.
Stop.
So
Stop. Don't make fun of him.
So Jon Moxley is injured, obviously, from the attack last week. He's got that, bandage wrapped over his eye. And Pac is kind of, Pac, however you say your name, is focusing on the eye. He's stomping on it, taking multiple shots. You even see the blood start to kind of bleed through the bandage later on. And JR tries to describe how this is a bad idea, that Jon Moxley is in full fight mode because, and I quote, a wounded animal is at its most dangerous when it's wounded. On
the upside, Excalibur does correct him later.
Excalibur does correct him.
Which is weird, because usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
A wounded animal is at its most dangerous when it is cornered.
Yes, but that's a call in night from Jim Ross.
Yeah.
Love you, bud. But this match was
underwhelming.
And I know why, because you have to build up. You're actually selling an injury, something that you don't see very often. But
in the other company.
Yeah. Well, even in indie wrestling, a lot of times too. I mean, people do all these crazy moves and stunts, and then they come back next week like they're completely fine. So it's nice to see someone sell an attack and come back still with the.
Well, they were stabbed in the eye. So
so
that'll do it.
Yeah. So to see the bandage still there, every time he got hit in the face, it was overly sold, which was fantastic. The blood, everything added to it. That was nice to see. Unfortunately, it also kind of, while it increased the storytelling of the match, it also kind of hindered the quality of just a little
Great
bit.
storytelling, great in-ring psychology, but it wasn't a great match because it was hindered. But this is another thing to remember. Pac and Moxley both will probably be with AEW for a very long time.
Absolutely.
And they are going to get theirs.
This is just another instance of AEW putting two huge names. You know what you want, and for selfish reasons, why I go, man, you got me, because not what I was expecting from this match.
But it was good. It built the right things. You saw the storytelling, you saw the psychology, and the important thing is maybe, and this is just a maybe thing, you don't have these two go all out in this match, whereas down the line, you probably do have Pac challenge for Moxley's championship, which I'm already giving to him.
Hopefully Moxley has two good eyes by then.
Yeah. So, paradigm shift. Moxley wins.
Big paradigm shift.
Yes. Has a stare down with Chris Jericho. Jericho says the match is going to happen at Wrevolution. As much as I love Chris Jericho, I really want to see Jon Moxley win this. Nothing would make me happier than watching Jon Moxley hoist the AEW championship over his head with a giant middle finger to WWE. Yeah. Nothing would make me happier.
Yeah, it would be amazing. I mean, I've wanted the title off Jericho since he won it.
Moxley was one of the most underutilized talents.
Well, he won the world title, twice? So
yeah, after how long?
Multiple tag team, Intercontinental, United States. I mean, you win that many titles. I mean, he was underused the end of his career there.
But he was
one of the core three of the main roster for a long time.
But again, he was underutilized in the fact that he wasn't given the ability to become who he was.
Yeah, he was.
The Jon Moxley character we see today is what you could have had in WWE if Vince would have given him any creative.
It's also understandable when you look at it why I'm glad he is on AEW, because when you have the green light of TNT and the TB14 and everything, how you're able to be more of what Jon Moxley actually is, because and this is taking shots at WWE, but you know how they like to be more kid-friendly and more entertainment, fun, and that's just not Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley is raw, aggression, fight
mode?
Yeah, fight mode. So you can see how the styles clash there, so I'm glad to see him in AEW having success.
Right. Well, and the thing that upsets me with WWE is we did see Jon Moxley briefly.
Yeah, we saw him reach the top of the mountain
in 2015 when he was feuding with Seth Rollins.
Yes,
that was Jon Moxley.
Yeah, we saw him reach the top.
By the time he won the world title the first time, he was even on the decline from that.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, he didn't fully transition to wacky
Dean Ambrose
until after he did lose the title, but it's still, I'm definitely glad he's in AEW
God, I know.
Now. To see him fully unhinged, to say the least.
And on the fringe.
Great. Yeah, it's great. So, thank you, Jon Moxley. Hopefully you win the title and take the belt from Jericho. I love you, Jericho, but it's time. We need to get some fresh faces in there. So.
Well, and I think nothing would serve Chris Jericho better than to get 3 or 4 months off and
Absolutely.
to rehab, to rebuild,
Reclaim.
redesign. Because, I mean, a lot of people have speculated that Chris Jericho's body, at the rate he's going, will not hold up as long as he had hoped. So, it's important that you get your R&R time when you are as old as Chris Jericho is and you're doing the things that Chris Jericho does.
Hell, it's not like he's been doing much in the ring lately. He's in these matches, but
he's
he
put an entire company on his back.
It's mainly promo work, let's be honest.
Right, but it's going to... Well, and of course, it won't happen.
And that's what he does best.
He won't take a break. The Inner Circle is not going anywhere.
Not with a brand new stable, no. He'll see, and this is what I foresee, Jericho lose the title, but then he's going to do what he's already doing now, except without the title, and that's take that backseat role, be more of a manager on the mic, and let these younger guys flourish. That's what I want to see.
What I want to see is Jake Hager actually step into the ring.
Something instead of showing up in that goofy-looking polo every week.
They are building to it. Hager Luchasaurus at Revolution.
Well, that's going to be great.
That's going to be a fantastic match. All right, so that is how we ended Dynamite.
Yeah.
Match of the night for Dynamite?
Match of the night for me is going to have to be the first match, which was Kenny and Hangman versus SCU. Again, the Moxley Pac match just didn't do it for me.
That was a close second for me. Mine was the Jurassic Express versus the Inner Circle.
That was also really good.
Your MVP?
My MVP is going to have to be Chris Jericho. And it has to be, right? I mean, thank you, Jericho.
You know, I thought I was going to be the one to make that. But yeah, my MVP is Chris Jericho. Without Chris Jericho...
None of that.
The hot crowd.
Yeah.
None of it happens.
And he had his marks just all over the show. So that was...
Yeah. The Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea... the MVP is the Ragers, but the MVP is Chris Jericho for putting on such a fantastic show. And I know AEW, booked it, but Jericho had his hands all over this one.
Yes, absolutely.
So thank you, Jericho.
So,
Whoa. What? I'm going to declare another Fight Mode Fighter of the Night, this time for AEW Dynamite. Marco Stunt. Dude came out in fight mode tonight. And I'm not just talking about the 450 splash. Dude was ready to go from the time the bell rang.
He was ready before. You see the Twitter beef?
Yeah, so Marco Stunt. Fight mode Fighter of the Night for Dynamite. So I've only given out that award 3 times, and Marco, you're there, man. You're in fight mode. You weren't my MVP because you didn't throw your own crews, but you're in fight mode.
Yeah, so normally this ending segment comparison between NXT and AEW is just a little bit longer.
Yeah, this is usually our longest segment. We get to argue a little bit. We get to make fun of each other. It's the hottest segment of the night, and it's gonna be utter trash tonight.
Here's that rare moment where me and you agree. And
hey, what was your pick for show of the night, Marcus?
I feel gross about it because saying that you're right just that's grody.
What was your show of the night pick?
My show of the night for the first time is AEW. Like I said, NXT tonight just
sucked.
You didn't do it for me. Like I said, it wasn't can miss, but it's right there. AEW, on the other hand, was
off the wall.
Amazing. Great matches, start to finish. And the crowd was hot. I wish I was there. I loved every second of it. It was great.
You know what's funny is, for how much I'm giving crap to NXT this week, was still better than SmackDown and Raw. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't know if I can give NXT the nod over those first 2 hours of Raw.
You have to include all 3.
But then does that include the whole middle portion of NXT then? Because NXT, as you even said, first and beginning. You even said mainly the ending.
Yeah, I could have skipped everything else.
Yeah, so if I have to give a show the nod, my show of the week obviously is AEW, but if I have to focusing specifically on WWE, probably those first 2 hours of Raw, or I mean SmackDown was alright. SmackDown was good. I mean, it's hard, although I would say SmackDown that more fell into last week. So, yeah, it'd have to be... Maybe we'll see how good SmackDown is this week, but as of right now, it's Raw.
But show of the night tonight, obvious decision.
Obviously, AEW.
It was the Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, Part 2. Cannot wait for Triple Whammy. I will be there. I don't care. Whatever it takes. If I have to sell my car, if I have to take out a mortgage on a house that I don't own. Whatever it takes, man. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there next year.
And all I got to say...
I won't be as drunk as everybody else, but I'll be there.
All I got to say before we wrap things up is NXT, you let me down this week. Do better, Triple H.
Yeah. I mean, look, you have yet to put on a product that has made me flip. He's flipped once. Twice, if you count our unaired episode. They have yet to put on a product that has convinced me that they are better.
You're just a fanboy, so that's part of that reason. At least I'm honest. So,
anyways, we've got to get going, mostly considering I work tomorrow morning. Fun times, can't wait to be there.
So don't forget to follow us on our social media. Links are in the description, our own personal, and as always, the official Twitter for the Wrevolution podcast. That is at Wrevolution Pod.
Hit us up on the Twitter machine. And
please subscribe.
You know, I shouldn't have to say this, but don't forget to watch our videos. Come on. What are we doing with one view?
If you subscribe, also hit that bell there. It gives you notifications so you don't miss any videos. Because that must have been what happened, right? All of you just didn't ring that bell.
Yeah, they have all their notifications turned off.
Yeah.
Either that or no one cares about Raw. That could be why.
That could also be.
Raw sucks.
I don't care about Raw.
I don't care about Raw either.
So there you go.
Hey,
another thing we agree on. Ew.
So we do have to have some discussion coming up about our recording schedule for this weekend because there is a lot going on. Friday Night SmackDown, Worlds Collide on Saturday, and the Royal Rumble on Sunday. But we will get those videos out to you as quickly as humanly possible.
Most likely, you will get the SmackDown review on Saturday. You will get the NXT review on Sunday, and then you probably won't get the Royal Rumble review until if late Monday night, probably Tuesday morning.
So
you'll probably get Raw and Rumble back to back.
Yeah, we'll be doing a lot of content coming out all at one time.
Please stay tuned to Twitter for updates. That's where I'm going to be giving you constant information on that.
So we should be recording Saturday for SmackDown and then for Worlds Collide and then Monday, I guess, for Royal Rumble. But we will be recording as much content as we can. We're trying to get this up to date for you guys. It is rather difficult, but we're not going to miss an episode.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm here before a work night, so.
Yes. So
even if he had to, kick me, dragging and screaming.
Hey, if I got to be up to 5, you got to be up. So.
Yay.
So without further ado,
from Studio 6 here in Sterling Heights, my name's Nick Cavalli.
I've been Marcus White.
And we invite you to join the Wrevolution. Good night.
Have a good night, guys.